guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's really long I haven't made a video, but then I thought of making something which I'm learning right now. So you guys can see I have AWS console right up on the screen, and I'm going to show you how to spin up an EC2 using IAM Role. So you can see EC2 I've selected because I practiced before. I show you guys, but then what you can do is you can go to all services right here. Under the compute, you can select EC2. Or if you're not sure where your service lies, you can go up here and then select EC2. And that's how you're going to select or find where the service is. So here I am selecting EC2. So you can see right now, it's a North Virginia region and there is no EC2s running right now. So I'm going to launch my EC2 and show you how to do that. So I'm going to go and click the launch instance. So for those who are new and don't know what is EC2, let me give them a little bit of background. So Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud is a web service that provides more like secure, resizable compute capacity on the cloud. It's more like a computational platform where you can do all kind of functionalities and let you choose kind of your OS. Here I'm going to choose that is called the Amazon Machine Image, AMIs, where I'm going to select Linux. And it's a very powerful tool you can use on the cloud to perform different kind of transformation or batch processing, ETL jobs, and many kind of uses. So let's go. So my first step would be to choose an AMI. So right now I'm using the free tier, and you can see 3 of these OSs are free. I'm going to go with Amazon Linux 2 AMI. So I'm going to select that. Free tier is not going to cost me any money till the time I spin it up and bring it down. But if you want to go for more, it's going to charge you something. And for those details, I would be providing link in the description box and you guys can check. So again, I'm using the T2 Micro. That's the type of the instance, that is the AMI. And then how many CPUs will be there, what kind of memory in terms of gigabytes, the instance storage, that will be EBS. And then, EBS optimization is available or not, network performance, IPv6 support, all these informations are given here. Since it's a free tier, I'm going on with this one. You can directly review and launch from here, but I'm going to show you what the next steps are because I'm going to not do without the IAM role. I'm going to do it with it. So let's do it. Configure instance details. So here I am where I'm configuring all the other details. So number of instances right now I'm doing 1. People can go into auto-scaling group. Auto-scaling is something where depending on the load of your job, you can add instances or deduct instances. The computer is going to look at your CloudWatch details and going to add instances as and when required. Coming back to the network, for the VPC, I'm taking the default one. You guys can go ahead and create your own VPC, but I'm right now going with the default one, and therefore no preference to the subnet. There might be multiple subnet already available, so I'm not giving any preference. Wherever the system can look for and create it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create an IAM role. And for that, what I'm going to do is I can go right from here, click IAM role, and it will take me to IAM management console, or maybe go back to AWS console and look for IAM. So IAM will be in all services under, it is under security, identity and compliance. So here I am. And right now we will go under the roles, because if you go back to this tab and you see it requires a role. Why do we need role? Because when we want to SSH into your system, a role is an easier way. Otherwise you have to make yourself a user and then go and give your credentials like secret key and access key. And that is not the best way, I would suggest. Yes, of course you can do it. It's not that you cannot. But then I would suggest it's not the best way to do it. So I'm going through a role way, which is more secure and encrypted. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new role. So I'm clicking here. And since I know it is for an EC2, I'm going to go and select EC2. You can see other services right here. Different kind of AWS services. So if you want to go and select any other, go ahead. If you're creating it for another AWS account, you have to select here. If it's for a web identity, you have to go here. If there's a federated account, like for enterprise level, and when you need you have Active Directory or any kind of other way to log into your account and not the user and password way, then you guys should go here for the SAML assertion. So I'm going to go and select EC2 and I'll click next. And here comes the policies. So you definitely have a provision to create your own policies by writing a small JSON script. You can go here and write a JSON script, but I'm not going to do that right now. What I'm going to do is right now I'm going to give an administrative access. So here I am selecting the admin access because admin access give like a superpower access, a full access to AWS services and resources. Then I'm going to select next. So these tags are more or less like if you have a team or something you want to tag with your team name or with your group name or something, that's where you go. But this is for demo purposes. I'm going to terminate this instance after I'm done. So I'm not going to tag for anything. Then the next is review. So here I'm going to give it a name. So maybe I'll give it My Ec2 Roll. That's what I'm going with. Let me put R with. Let me make it a little bit legible. And yes, I can see it has the admin policies and this is how it looks like. And I'm going to go and create the role. So once the role is created, you can go and search in my, yep, here we go. Here is my new role. This is the ARN. ARN stands for Amazon Resource Name. This is more like an identity when you are interacting with other services, you give this detail through your code or through your, for example, you are going into an S3 bucket and you want to give the detail of the role which is going to access that bucket, then you go inside the policies and add this ARN. That's where it is used. If you want to add policies later on, you think that, hey, I might not need admin access and I need an access just to access S3. So you can remove this one and attach new policies from here. So all changes can be done later on. And when you don't need this role, you can delete this from here, right here. So I'm going to go back to my EC2 launch and I'm going to give it some time and it's going to pop up right here. So here is this refresh. I'm going to give it a little refresh and I can see my EC2 role. Here it is. So it shows one role right now because I created one role. It's a new account. But then if you want to create, if you've already created multiple roles, give them a name so that it's easily identifiable and the name has some meaning, like a naming convention or something, so that you can identify if this role is for a specific purpose. And rest of the stuff, I'll keep it the way as it is. And then go to the storage. So by default, there is a root device volume, which is by default there. And right now it's not encrypted. For the free tier, if you can see, we can go up to 30 gigs of EBS general purpose or magnetic storage. I'm going to give it an EBS volume of 8, which is coming by default, but then I'm going to delete it on termination of the EC2. And I'll keep it general purpose for now because I'm not doing heavy work on that. But as heavy as you go, you can change the volume. These are like SSDs and some of them are standard. Next, again, we have a tag. If you're interested in giving tags, as I said before, similar to IAM policies, like this EC2 is for ETL process, and then you create another EC2 for some data manipulation or want to have a web page on top of it working, something like that, then you can add those tags accordingly to distinguish which EC2 belongs to which. And then the next is configure security groups. So you can create your own security group by default. When you selected your VPC, there's a default VPC. It also has a default security group attached to it. So I'm going to go and align with that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to now review all my settings and configuration and going to launch this EC2. So here we go. And you guys can see that, I've selected this free tier, the instance type, the security group ID, and everything was selected by default. I added IAM roles and policies, and I'm going to launch. Then it's going to ask me that create an existing key pair. So why this is necessary? Because when you enter into your machine using SSH, you need this key pair. So this is something you really, really need. Never forget this thing. So I'm going to keep it the same name as and put it as key and download this key pair. Keep it safe. There are many options within Amazon services where you can keep your keys, but I would suggest you keep those very safe. And then you go ahead and launch the instance. So you can view an instance. It will take some time to launch. Right now it's in a pending state. And keep on refreshing to see when this is available. So I'm going to pause this video for some time, and when it is available, I'm going to come back and show you guys. Okay, so You guys can see this instance state running. There's a health status check going on, initializing. So we are going to give it some time to show us whether this instance is healthy or not. Okay, you guys can see the health check is perfectly all right and it gives a green. So we are good to go. So let's go ahead and try to connect this. And I'm going to use Session Manager. You can use SSH Client, Instance Connect, but I prefer Session Manager more. So what we can do is, see, it is the instance without SSH keys. The keys we downloaded for this, you need your keys. And yeah, you can go ahead and connect that. And then using the AWS management keys, and yeah, you can log sessions of details of AWS S3 and CloudWatch. So let's go and yeah. Here we go. So let me do a CT. Yep, it brings us all these things. So let me see. So it's like very few argument, AWS S3. Let me see, LS works or not. Okay, maybe I don't have any S3. Let me go and check. Since it's a new account, go to S3. There might be few for logging purposes. Oh, I don't have any, therefore it's not showing up. So let me create a random bucket. Let's go back to here and then create. So AWS S3 and then MB and then S3. Tanya 130. I hope nobody has taken this one. Okay, invalid bucket name. Maybe I have to go. I guess I have to put this. I guess. Okay, so here it works, and see, you can see make bucket, and this bucket is created. Now if I do a AWS S3 LS, I hope this bucket shows up, and here we are. And let's go to our management console, go to AWS S3, and I can see the bucket right here. So this is how you use your EC2 instance, and you can do multiple things. It's a whole new world. So let me know your questions and comments below if you like this video, and tell me what you want to see more. Thank you for watching. Tell me what to do.